Hello, everybody. Mr. Brown here with the Choose Well Program podcast. We're back for another episode. I'm so grateful. The show is growing. We got a lot of content. We're getting some feedback from you guys. And if you haven't taken the time, hey, leave us a rating in one of those podcast apps if you're listening. And if you're on YouTube, watch us, give us that like, press that like button, subscribe, and share with other people as well. In this episode, I'm going to give you a quote of the day. It's something I do in my other podcast, but I'm going to do it on this one too. And we're going to have a conversation with Lauren Connor about the Choose Well program, about what it is, how we got started, and the curriculum that we got coming up. That's what's coming in this episode of the Choose Well program podcast. All right, let's get into our quote of the day. I typically do this on my other podcast, The Mr. Brown Show. I do a quote of the day. And so I want to do one here. And the quote of the day is a quote from me. It's from the program. It is this: when you make better choices, you will live a better life. That is our theme, our catchphrase. Now, it used to be choices are the puzzle pieces of life. But I like this idea. When you make better choices, live a better life. And every choice we make will be a part of our life. And so when we make better ones, our life will get better. Now, I think some people misquote that or misinterpret that to mean I'm saying your life will be perfect. I don't believe no one has a perfect life. The idea is that your life will get better and better and better the better choice you make. And what I like about this idea of empowering students, and even for that matter, empowering adults to really embrace that idea, that when you make bad choices, because that's what happens to me. When most of the time I talk to adults and myself, when I hear this, when you make better choices, a better life, I immediately start thinking about the bad choices I made, all the bad stuff I've done. I've had a teacher come up to me one day and said, "Where were you at when I was a kid?" Like, where was this message then? The reason I like this quote is because it applies to everyone. No matter what situation you find yourself in, if you make better choices, even after making a bad one, your life will get better. Again, perfection is not on the table for any of us. We can't be perfect, but we can make better and better and better and better choices. So to me, this statement is empowering. And when I go to assemblies, if I'm talking to very, very young kids, that's my number one goal. The number one goal is connect with them. I want to connect with them and pour some information into their minds, right? And that's the one quote. If I walk away from that assembly with little kids, especially pre-K or TK and kindergartners, if I walk away from that assembly and they know when you make better choice, live better life, I won. Choose well, oh yeah, is extra, right? But at the bare minimum, I want them to understand when they make better choices, they will live a better life. When I was a kid, I obeyed my grandparents and my mom, but I didn't really grasp the idea that it was my choice to do some things, even how I responded to what they told me to do. But I think it's so empowering for little kids to understand, and young adults, all of us, to understand that I can choose my destiny through my choices. Like Dr. Seuss said, you have brain in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in the direction you choose. That's true. And so I think that's the idea of when you make better choices, you will live a better life. And hopefully it's empowering to you, whoever's watching this, listening to this. It's a reminder to us, but also for our kids to get that the earlier in life they get it, the better off they'll be. And that's the quote of the day. When you make better choices, you live a better life. So choose well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now it's time for my conversation with Lauren Connor. She asked me a bunch of questions about the Choose Well program and the curriculum we got coming up, which she's a part of as well. But she interviewed me. So here's the conversation with myself and Lauren about the Choose Well program, including the curriculum. Oh, yeah.
So you have decided to do a curriculum for the Choose Well program. And so I guess what I want to know is why. Like, what is your driving force behind creating the curriculum?
So we started with doing just assemblies, working with students. And over time, we realized that it's not just the students. Mm-hmm. It is the culture of the school. So how do we impact the entire culture? So then we start doing professional development with the teachers, which is, I say educators, not just some schools just do teachers, and I don't like that. I really want to bring all the educators in, right? Because they're all part of one team. So we've been able to do that. And then we start doing family nights as well, working with parents. Then from there, the pandemic happened. And actually, even before the pandemic, we started to do videos, follow-up videos for classrooms. So for teachers in classrooms, schools I partner with, they would use my videos. But then the pandemic happened, I wasn't able to go to school, so we started to focus in on making those videos a curriculum. So we started with a video library, which they can find at the choosewellprogram.com. Then Dr. Daniel's like, we need to turn this into curriculum. It is so good. The videos are so great. And I'm like, well, I don't know anything about writing curriculum.
Right.
I don't know how to do standards. And so we start building a team of people who do, including yourself. and started making curriculum. So let me put you on the spot.
Yeah.
What did you like about the video library and that you volunteered to work with building a curriculum?
Yeah, it connected with my students. I've seen quite a few social emotional lessons, quite a few social emotional curriculums, and sometimes the kids will just blow them off. But with your videos, they chose to actually connect, and they chose to engage, and they chose to be involved in those conversations. And that to me was the immediate sell.
Well, I appreciate that. And that was kind of the desire to make something that was plug and play.
Yeah.
That, hey, teachers, show this to your students, have a conversation, and leverage my connectivity or my way to connect with the students with yourself. So you can
Right.
say, hey, you watch this because you either know Mr. Brown or you connect with the videos. Let's have a conversation about this. That's why we started taking it to another level, because I would love for the Choose Well program to be in every school. I mean, that's a huge
Yeah.
goal. But, hey, if it can help this school and help build better cultures with the students, I'm all for it.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Your heart is really to build better culture in education. So talk to me, what does that look like to you?
I think it depends on the school, and that's one thing that I really like about it. We don't approach this as, hey, you got to have our program to be a great school. No, we don't approach it as you got to come and do everything we say. No, we want to come alongside of what you're already doing and how can we make it better. Some schools use Second Step. Some schools use different programs that they have going on. Some, the PBS structure, PBIS. I always want to say PBS.
I know, yeah.
Some schools use the PBIS structure, which stands for, put you on the spot,
Oh gosh,
Positive Behavior Intervention Systems, or
special. See, I always forget the S,
I-
which is terrible, but I do.
yeah. So by the time we edit it, we'll put it on the screen if you're
Okay.
watching this. But if they use that already, we can come alongside with that. And so I think part of our goal is to really help schools communicate better on what things we're trying to teach our kids. So if we're trying to teach our kids respect, well, the teachers have the same idea of respect.
Yeah.
Do the parents know what that looks like? I remember talking to the parents before, and the school was using, I was working with the school, and they were
Yeah.
using restorative practices.
Yeah.
And then her kid came home and said they were in a restorative circle and all this stuff. And the mom was like, what's the restorative circle? Why is my
Yeah.
kid in it?
Right.
And you're not building a culture. If your kids are doing these programs to restore and the parents don't know nothing about it, then what are we doing? And then
Right.
sometimes we're teaching kids to do certain things and we're not expecting it from our teachers.
Right.
And so I think with the Choose Well program, everybody can relate with the idea that when you make better choices, you will live a better life. So choose well.
Oh yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I've been working on my sound. So I got my kids.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
So fun.
so I think everybody can relate with that message. So how do
Yeah.
we communicate that to everyone? And I work one school. So every year we come up with a new theme for the school year. Now they had their
Okay.
PBS in place. It was respect, responsibility, safety, and kindness. So we did those 4. But every year, so like one year we did, we're better together. Everything that year was about, the banner was better together.
yeah.
And so we all knew what that meant, how to work with each other, but it brought some momentum.
Yeah.
Because even with PBIS, kids can get, worn out after 8 years
It
if
gets
they're K
boring.
through 8 years.
Yeah.
But we still want to have the core respect. And so I just think doing
like
things with
that.
schools like that to help them build some life. And even we work with schools to do some consulting to say, okay, what's your mission statement? Your mission statement is like a paragraph long. No one knows it,
No.
but it's on the wall. How can we simplify that so
Yeah.
it can be a simple phrase, a statement that we all can get behind? We believe at this school we are this.
Right.
This is what, and everything we do is going to be about that.
Yeah.
And we can connect it to everything we do, and it gives some pride in the school, some connectivity to the school. And so I think that's our goal. And if we
Yeah.
can start with the students through the videos, with the teachers or the educators, I keep saying teachers, but educators and the parents, we got a win-win.
One thing I've noticed about this program that I've appreciated as an educator is that you don't come in and try to change everything. You don't come in and try to change, what we're already doing. It's exactly what you said. You come alongside and the team comes alongside and you just help to improve what we're already doing, help to engage, I think is a really big term. And I appreciate that because all too often, we just go through curriculum after curriculum after curriculum.
Something new every year.
And it's exhausting for the teachers. And instead, if you come alongside and you're engaging and, you're saying, what can we do to help you? that by itself is huge and a huge selling point.
And we have a lot of things we do. Like we have
Yeah.
a Choose Well Wednesday. We have a Choose Well Award.
Yeah.
And some schools use it, some don't. And I'm not offended by it. What works for your school? If you already
Yeah.
got some incentive program in place, hey, let's use that. And if
Absolutely.
I'm making customized videos for your school, I can use that language because I'm about, hey, what's building this culture? What is making
Yeah.
people more connected, engaged? Because here's the deal. You're part of a school culture. You're doing life together.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing life together for the next
Absolutely.
couple of years. Why not make it the best you can make it?
Yeah. So for our people who may be listening who are new to the Choose Well program, explain what you mean by customizable videos for the school district.
Well, the bigger we grow, the less we can do it. But we're
Yeah,
still
I
doing it
know.
right now.
I know.
I work with several schools, and we make customized videos. So we'll work with the school leadership. For example, one school, they have a whole SEL team, and we kind of sat down and looked at what kind of things they'll be going over the next couple months with their advisory program.
Yeah.
And so then I started making videos based on those subjects. But here's the thing. At one point, kids got tired of hearing about kindness or was it was a character trait, and I made like 4 videos on it.
Yeah.
But I made videos on it. It was honesty.
Oh.
And the teachers were teaching on it, and so all they heard was and they got worn out.
Yeah.
And even with my videos, so the principal calls, hey, let's do something different. Why don't you just make videos that you normally make and give them to us? You pick a subject, you pick a topic, you pick a quote,
That's cool.
and send it. And the kids started engaging more
Yeah.
because they didn't feel like they were getting beat up by the same topic by everybody
Yeah.
for a whole month. But mine were more about just quotes or things they can think about, and it made them engage more with everything. So again, every school is different, and so how do we customize a program for your school, which I'm all about. But also we have a video library,
Yeah.
and we have the library is growing and growing and growing,
Yeah.
and we're using the library to turn into curriculum, and we're making new stuff. I just came out
Yeah.
with a new attitude of gratitude for elementary school students.
Fun.
And I have a new one for elementary schools coming out called Your Manners Matter.
I like that one already.
Your manner it's sometimes hard to say. Your manners matter, right?
Right.
So I think we're really trying to do the best we can. Some customized stuff, but some stuff that is really it's kind of a package, but how you use it can be customized.
Sure.
And that's the goal.
Sure. So then going back to the curriculum discussion, walk me through I know, like, for example, I know who's on the team, but walk me through who's on your team.
Well, the team is growing, but currently we got a bunch of people that are smarter than me. Dr. Terry Daniels, yourself, Jana Record, who is a licensed family, oh man, I always mess that up.
Therapist, I think.
Family and life therapist.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jana, if I got your title wrong. We'll fix that.
She's fantastic.
Yeah. We have a friend of mine named Brad. Brad who just got his master's degree in SEL, actually. So he is
Perfect.
social emotional learning degree.
Perfect.
So he's on the team. And Ruthie is she is in Alabama. So we got people from different parts of the country, and the team is growing. So. Again, all people are smarter than me. When I say that, I'm not putting myself down. I'm saying that a lot of people are in the classroom who studied a lot of these things. I think I have the ability to communicate things. I'm not saying I'm dumb by any means, but I'm excited to bring other people who have different skills than I do on the team.
I think that's what it is. You're really good at putting the team together. You know what skills you need and what areas you need people who have those skills in. And so you find those skills and then you pull those people in.
And that's been a gift. And I'm grateful for Dr. Terry Daniels kind of saying,
Yes.
hey, she's spearheading it and she's leading it because
Yes.
she, as a principal, understands the need of curriculum, the need of good curriculum, and not.
Right.
And I don't want our curriculum to be like, okay, here's the curriculum, go use it. No, I want it to be really more connected than that. It's not about say, hey, here's a piece of paper, here's a binder, go do it. I really don't want to put a lot of work on the teacher.
Yeah.
I want it to be plug and play as best it can. I want to give them 2 options. Options of, hey, here's the plug and play side, and here's if you want a little more deeper illustrations or deeper activities, then you can use them, but you don't have to do all of that. I don't want the teacher to have to spend 4 hours on our curriculum
Yeah.
to use it in the classroom.
I think that's one thing that I really like about this curriculum that we're building is as a teacher in the classroom, I want a curriculum that I can just look at and be like, okay, that's easy. It takes me almost zero prep. I can just literally plug and play. But the unique thing I feel like about our curriculum is that you can also get really creative with
Yes.
it because of the nature of social emotional learning. And so that's what's really exciting about being on this curriculum team is, all of the different options we can provide teachers.
And I don't want SEL to be something additional. I want to be a part of the culture and the makeup of the classroom. Mike Freeman said, SEL is the plate. Everything else goes on top of it. Math goes to science.
Sure.
Everything goes on top of it. Because
sure.
to me, if I were to break down SEL before SEL was SEL, and we keep using SEL, social emotional learning, before it was a thing, I just look at it as connecting with your students.
Yeah.
Connecting with the people you work with.
Right.
Understanding they have value and understand they're not a number. They're not a project. They're people. So if I want someone to do something, I want to motivate them to do it themselves. I want to connect to them in a way that I can see what is going to be the internal and the positive motivation versus the negative and external.
Right.
Because most of the time growing up, mine was external. If you don't do this, and negative, if you don't do this, there's a consequence. And that's true in life.
Yeah.
But I want to get to the point where I can say to a student, hey, you want something in life, right? You want this goal.
Right.
Hey, this is a way to get to it. And that's a positive internal.
Yes.
Not only that, I think with the students we work with today, if we can help acknowledge or help them work through some of their issues that they have, what a way to connect with them and help them overcome and empower them to overcome some stuff in their life to meet their goals. So I think for me, SEL, social emotional learning, is helping them understand themselves and helping me as an educator understand who I'm working with and help them go to their next level. So let me put it this way. I think one of the paradigm shifts that needs to happen in education in a lot of places is this. We need to learn how to make the student the hero of their own story. How to make the parent the hero of their own child's story.
Yeah.
How to help the teacher or the educator become the hero of their own story. As administrator, how do you become a hero of your own story? It's not about some external force telling you what you got to do.
Right.
And I think the gap sometimes between parents and educators is the parents know it all, educators are dumb. No, other way around.
Other way around.
Yeah. Educators know it all, parents are dumb. And I don't think the educators are saying that or meaning that, but that can be what they feel. The parents can feel that way.
Yeah.
And everything is geared toward making the educators' day or structure better versus the parents. For an example, when schools often have parent-teacher conferences, they're 5 o'clock. Well, I don't get off till 5.
Right.
So how can we make that adjustment? Say, hey, how can we serve you? Because that's the idea. As an educator, I am serving that parent to educate their child. We're partnering together.
Yeah.
It's not about me saying, hey, give me your child. I'll take it from here.
Right.
No, we're not trying to exclude parents. We shouldn't be. We should be including parents, and we should be serving parents and serving students.
I think that's good. Yeah, we need to hear the why of the curriculum.
And we want to expand to give parents access, and we have in some schools given parents access to it so they can know. Because what happens is this has been my experience. I go speak at a school, and the kids go home talking about Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown, right? And the parents are like, who is Mr. Brown?
Right.
And I want to be able to give the parents, hey, check out what we've talked about. And if the school adopts our weekly or monthly videos, I want the parents have access to it as well. So they can know what we're talking to kids about, what kids are excited about, because now it gets into the home where the parents now can use it as a tool.
Right.
But I always warn parents, please do not use the choose well message as a weapon. A kid, you're not choosing well, and they're like, no, that's not the purpose of it, right? You don't have to beat them upside the head with it, but you want them to embrace it. And it's okay to mention, hey, was that a good choice? No, but it's done in the candid conversation, not in a sideways, sarcastic, manipulating, mocking way.
Right, yeah, done in love.
And that's what I want teachers to do too. I don't want them going slapping the kids. Choose well. Mr. Brown said, no.
Right.
How do we empower them? How do we motivate them positively and internally to help them make that choice themselves?
So we've kind of walked through the progression of the curriculum and kind of where we're at right now. But tell me, and this is a really broad question, but if you could see the Choose Well curriculum going anywhere, what is like your end dream for the Choose Well curriculum? I kind of put you on the spot.
Yeah, I think for me, it is about empowering people. For an example, I'm working with a school and they want to work with me for a couple years. And my goal is to work myself out of an appearance job where they don't have to have me come once a month.
Right.
I want to empower their team. If I'm a caveat on, like if they use a couple of my videos, that's perfect. But I want them to embrace the Choose Well message to where they can use it in their context, where people in the school are choosing well. They're considering others, they're being kind, that they create this environment to where they are running it themselves. They understand the power of choices, and they have leaders doing it. That's one of my goals. Also, another goal is to get more speakers. You know, I would love one day to. I went to get my tire fixed yesterday, and the guy was bringing the keys after he's fixed. He's like, "Are you the Mr. Brown?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, you spoke to my school when I was in middle school."
Oh, how cool.
And I'm like, this happens so often, I'm feeling old, right? But it'd be amazing to be able to, start getting some of these students involved with the program.
Yeah.
Get some of these students who heard, whose lives were changed, impacted.
Who made the change.
Yes, to be able to continue on. Because I don't want it to be about me. I want this to be bigger than me. I want this to live beyond. I want my voice in this program to live beyond me. And so there's all kind of goals, and I want to be able to adapt to, like, when it comes to our videos. Like, one of the problems with some of the other curriculum I hear about, the videos are outdated. Some of the role play.
Extremely.
And so I want to update videos. I want to I want to get different voices, other people on the videos, because it's not about me. It's about the message. Even though I think I have a gift to connect with students, connect with people,
absolutely.
I want it to be about the message and not the man.
Yeah, very cool. You have, I don't even know what you would call it necessarily, other than a catchphrase, right?
Yeah, I have a catchphrase and I have a theme song. I had some kids write me a theme song, the Hello Mr. Brown theme song that comes on before most of our videos. Yeah, so I have a theme song.
But where did your Choose Well, oh yeah, come from? How did that evolve?
I remember the day I started using Choose Well, oh yes response, because when I first got started, not when I first got started, I was already speaking for a while. But I remember being in the school, Riley Middle School, and I think it's Riley Middle School in Manhattan, Kansas area. And I was speaking, and I was actually speaking on sex education. We were doing absence education. And part of my speaking style is the call and response. Like, I want to know you're with me. I want kids to be engaged, right? But I also grew up in the Southern Baptist Black church, where my grandfather's a pastor. He'd always talk, and people like, "Hey, man," like this call and response. So at one point, I was in a public school, and I was talking to kids, and they were saying "Amen." Like, I had kids going, "Hey, man," they were agreeing with me, right? And I was like, I don't know if it's gonna go over well with everybody in the room, right? This sounds like a religious event here, right? And so from there, we started saying, "Oh yeah." So, hey, if you agree with what I'm saying, say, "Oh yeah." So then eventually the Choose Well just happened, where I would start saying "Choose Well," kids respond by "Oh yeah," and then we just took off with it. So it's been great.
So fun
to go places, and kids will yell "Choose Well," and I'll respond "Oh yeah." And so it's a great way to connect. So that's been our catchphrase. And the other catchphrase we have is, "When you make better choices, you live a better life. So choose well."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But that evolved from choices are the puzzle pieces of life. That's what we started with. Choices are the puzzle pieces of life, because we use these puzzles, talk about every choice is a piece of the puzzle. And after that, I still talk about that. But when you make better choices, live better life, just kind of stuck more, because better choices, better life. And I think it's just true.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not a perfect life. I'm clear on saying that. It's not a perfect life.
No.
But when you make better choices, your life will be better and better and better.
Yeah. Well, just as a plug for the Choose Well curriculum and the Choose Well program in general, it's definitely what I'm hearing you say is it's something that's customizable for schools. And so I've been a part of school districts where we buy T-shirts for all the kids. And, driving around town, I see kids riding their bikes with their Choose Well T-shirts on. And what a fantastic way to really get involved in their lives.
Yes.
Because whether or not they're thinking about it, they're wearing that shirt.
And they're seeing it. When you see those words to choose well, that blesses me so much too. Yeah. Like, I'll go to Costco and see somebody choose. I got a picture the other day. Somebody sent me a picture of a father who just had a newborn. He's holding a newborn and he has a Choose Well shirt on. And I'm like, yes.
Cool. So definitely a customizable program. Great people involved.
Yeah, including yourself. So thank you for being involved. Hey, and I think as you talk about the customization piece of it, that we do a lot of different things. We do consulting, we do professional development, assemblies, classroom visits, online videos, customized videos, building a curriculum. We got merch, we got posters. And that's one thing too. We have so many posters that are still hanging up in schools that I go back to my schools, posters still hanging up, better choices, better life, or whatever it is. And it's really encouraging to get the message, because that's what it's about for me. I want kids to engage the message of choosing well, that it all comes down to their choice. And to me, that's one of the most empowering things, when you understand that you have the ability to choose the direction of your life. That's powerful. And I want even adults to know that, because some stuff we can't control. And the question is, how do we respond to things we can't
Right.
control? That's still going to dictate or determine what our life will look like. So it's all about choosing well.
Oh, yeah.
Again, thank you for joining for this edition of the Choose Well Program podcast. I'm really excited that you joined us. If you got any questions for us, please visit thechoosewellprogram.com. You can find out a lot of information about what we're doing, possibly even partner with your school in your area to do assemblies, classroom visits, professional development, family nights, do all kinds of things together, and also introduce our curriculum and our videos to your school. And we're not trying to change what you do. We want to come alongside and help you build better cultures, one choice at a time, because it's all about your choices. Thanks for joining us. And again, please like, subscribe, share, comment, all those things so we can grow this platform, grow the message, so more and more people understand the power of their choices. Thanks for joining us.